Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and HOTS fans of all ages. Tonight, we actually have a live cast. I'm not just casting into the void with replays, but tonight we have, in this season 19 of the Nexus Gaming Series in Division B West, we're watching Surely We Scale take on Clouded Minds. Last week, these two teams played, and it was a close 2-1 series that went the way of Clouded Minds. So, both these teams looking to see if things will change this time. Clouded Mountains looking to sweep this season series between these teams, but surely we scale looking for that opportunity to push back and even it out at one. So, as for bans, we can see here Surely We Scale did choose map pick, which means first pick and first ban will go to Clouded Minds. Bans from Surely We Scale were Towers of Doom and the two-lane map Brax's Holdout. Well, on the right side, Clouded Minds got rid of Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen. With that all divvied out, we see that Surely We Scale picked the Volskaya Foundry, the big, fun, scary Russian map with the Trivglav Protector. Captains made sure to tell me that last week's series was epic, an absolute banger. So, I hope you're all as excited as I am to see another fantastic series here in Division B. Again, it was a 2-1 game, or a series last time, going tightly to Clouded Minds. So one can hope that we see a 3-game series again. Judge Rob, or Jugger Rob, welcome, welcome. So on Volskaya, we have the Triglav Protector as the objective, and there are 5 camps on the map. Each team has a siege camp and a turret camp that does not push on the map, but instead gives you a little fun friend for team fights. Hello, Tiger Hots. And there's also a neutral camp that is a healing beacon located in the middle. It can be hard to capture early because it heals itself, so it is a bit of a DPS check. But it can be very useful in the tight confines of a fight over the Triglav beacon capture area, as the turrets are also helpful in that tiny spot. So we are waiting for the teams to get all lined up to get into the area where they can say, "Hey, we are ready." Um, and then we will hop into this draft and see what these teams would like to do. I have seen some fantastic support play out of Kagamine Len on Stukov. We know Ektar can be very strong in the offlane, and Memezed has some strong blah 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 tank plays going. I don't believe I've cast Clouded Minds before, so their players and their play style will be new to me. So further excitement. So here's hoping that we just get a view of some really awesome Heroes of the Storm from these two teams. Now, early game, the Triglav Protector is not the strongest thing on the planet. And so sometimes teams will either kind of ignore it or only slightly kind of delay a team picking it up while they try to find other macro opportunities on the map. If someone is capturing it, that means their team is down 4v5. And so you can try to push a lane, you can try to steal camps, you can try to rotate for kills. There's lots of different ways to try to find advantages on this map, but in the late game, the destructive pressure of the Triglav Protector is far more valuable. So it's definitely not something you want to leave to the end game, but it is possible to build a bit of a scaling comp, let the first couple Triglavs go over, try not to lose too much, and then try to crush out your opponents in late game team fights. On the other hand, we sometimes see characters like Samuro do really good here, while the other 4 just sort of fight a delaying action, keeping people from getting the full capture on a Triglav, while Samuro or another hard push offlaner gets value by being impossible to catch but also damaging buildings. So this is a fairly fun map, and it's very hot or cold. I find it's either picked or banned, and I don't. It almost never just gets kind of ignored. Like we almost never see Sky Temple picked, and it's sometimes banned, but it's just not that popular. People don't pay attention to it that much. And I'd say same with Garden of Terror. Like it's sometimes banned, but it's not picked all that often. And but Volsky I feel like is always on the pick or the ban list. So we're not quite ready from both teams, but we should be soon. We are just hitting 8 o'clock, so that's okay. There's no all fired rush. And it's been a long day at work, so I'm looking forward to getting my brain just together enough to do some yelling about Heroes of the Storm. Now, I'm not as fancy as Tokibi, and by fancy, I mean skilled at this, so I don't have a way of letting you bet on who you think will win. But if you want to get in chat there and just tell me, hey, this is who's going to win, or let's go so and so, feel free to drop it in. I have looked at the standings. While these games were close in the standings, these teams are a little more split apart. Clouded Minds sits near the top of the division in B West with, if I recall correctly, 21 points, while Surely We Scale is near the middle with 14. However, last week's score not indicative of the difference in points here. And once again, it's entirely possible that we could see Surely We Scale come out with a win with what they learned last week. So, the standings, all they tell us are the results. They have no way of telling us who's going to win tonight. So, let's get rocking and rolling. It looks like we're about to head into the draft. So let's get into game number 1, season 19 of NGS here in Division B West between Surely We Scale and Clouded Minds. Let's find ourselves drafting on Volskaya Foundry. So, first ban and first pick will be over on the side of Clouded Minds because map pick was chosen by Surely We Scale. Sonya, a quick ban and quite a good ban. Both the leap and the ability to heal in tight places, very, very good on this map. So a strong offlane ban. Johanna also banned. Now, whether that's because she's just a very strong tank right now, a good point control tank, or because somebody on the side of Clouded Mounds is amazing at her, I'm not sure. But she is a good ban, even simply for the map. Anubrak also gets banned, another character that excels when fighting people in a tight place. He's taken out, and Muradin also banned, kind of one of the all-around good tank picks. Not perfect at any one thing, but great at almost everything you want a tank to do. With the ban phase happening with military-like precision, we will see the first pick coming out for Clouded Minds, and they're going to lock in Chromie, one of the best mages in the game right now. With her vision talent buffed at 1, she can spread lots of damage from a safe distance, and she can also now do some vision control. Just a fantastic hero, and I feel like she gets picked or banned in most series these days because with some of the adjustments they've made, she's extremely strong right now, and she's very safe to play unless your opponent plays dive. We'll see Leoric and Junkrat, and I think Junkrat's a very clever pick on this map. The mines make approaching that center area very difficult, and he's good at clearing or being sort of a gatekeeper or a goalkeeper on the third lane. And Leo is great at double soaking. He's good at taking hit points off things with the percent drain hope. And Ektar plays Leoric really well. Also, the Entomb, especially the level 20 Entomb, can be especially deadly to a Chromie after you Wraith Walk at her. We do see Ariel and Hogger come out. Now, Ariel, no cleanse, but probably one of the strongest throughputs for any healer right now in Heroes of the Storm. Even with her nerfs, she's very powerful. But she doesn't have a cleanse, and both of her ultimates can set people up to get blown up, so you have to use Judgment. Good judgment when playing Ariel. Har, just a top-notch offlaner. He can pressure Leoric. He can also double soak. Lots of value in a team fight. Let's see Hogger play Tiger. So, we see Surely We Scale ban the Falstad. Global characters are always useful on a large map. This is a large 3-lane map. So, ooh, some bits from Tiger Hots. Thank you very much. And we see Stukov banned, and I think that's a very good idea. Kagamine Len is an excellent Stukov player, and those puddles with the mines and roots of Junkrat would have been incredibly frustrating and would have offered a ton of control to the members of Surely We Scale. So he's gone. So instead we see Kagamine Len picking the Anduin, probably the second best throughput healer in the game at the moment. So we see two great healers on what is kind of a brawly map objective. And the Tychus comes out. Just a really, really strong damage output character. That's a great thing to pair with a Junkrat. Junkrat can control approaches and how people come in. Tychus can output the damage. The final members of Clouded Minds come out, Hanzo and Blaze. Now, Hanzo Chromie does set you up for long-range burst damage. Now, Blaze's main tank is kind of squishy. He has strong points, but he also definitely has weak spots as a main tank. But Blaze Hogger does have plenty of hit points, and they're going to try to lock people down for the Chromie Hanzo burst. On the other hand, we have Stitches for picks, and both Hanzo, Ariel, and Chromie can all struggle. Chromie will be forced almost to pick here and there at 13, and Ariel is going to have to be extremely careful not to get hooked. But these are our teams, a pick comp versus a snipe comp. Let's see which one comes out on top in game number 1 between Surely We Scale and Clouded Minds. I don't know why I sing-songed that. It might be because I'm nuts. Let's not dig too deep into that. We've got game number 1, and from what these teams have said, their last matchup was fire. Let's see it happen again. On the blue side, we have Surely We Scale. They've got Memezed playing Stitches, Ektar on Leoric, Kagamine Len on Anduin, Ulysses on the Junkrat, and Tie-Dye Tights playing Tychus. On the red side, Clouded Minds. We've got Tempest Jet playing Blaze, Tiger on Hogger, Ruffian playing Ariel, Rogue on the Chromie, and Terrorsaur playing Hanzo. At level 1, we do see the Patchwork Creation, increased healing for this Stitches. We also see the Even-Handed Blessing, the extra wound timers from Junkrat, and Quarterback from our Tychus. And we see Consume Vitality for the Leoric as opposed to... Now, because there aren't minions on the point, Aussie and Renewal can sometimes get weaker the longer a fight goes, whereas with the tightness of a point, you can sometimes get more value from the Consume Vitality of a Leoric. On the far side, oh, we're seeing a great poop onto Ruffian, trying to run away. Ulysses, though, takes so much damage in return, and both low characters will get away. We will not see First Blood yet. We do see the Endurance Stimpak again, some different choices from the Blaze. I would have thought possibly the Unstoppable, but no. He takes the shield that below 30% it'll automatically cast. We do see the Wrath build on the Prowl from Hogger, who is being pushed back by Ektar at the moment. The Searing Light from Ariel. The Q build, once again the first time, from the Chromie, which will be very strong with here and there when they do get the third Echo. And we have Simple Geometry from Hanzo. So, they've all chosen the route their builds will go. Hogger taking the camp here, while all four have come here. Junkrat is out here, but oh, a great trap means he sees Tempest Jet's attempt at a gank and can keep himself safe. Again, First Blood has not yet been achieved in game number 1. There's a great route there onto Tempest Jet. He does manage to jet propulsion Memezed, but out comes the bombs from Ulysses. And Tempest Jet will get away. And once again, First Blood denied. Good play by the healers, and also not able to get out that early burst they're looking for. The hook just misses Terrorsaur. It clips that little cloth on the back of Hanzo's behind, but it is not enough. Ulysses trying to force the opponent away from clearing, trying to deny them even the smallest amount of experience. While Leoric is freezing, he's freezing the wave in the bottom, trying to make Hogger play more aggressively and maybe give him more opportunities to be ganked in this off lane. In 25 seconds, control point A will activate, and both teams are going for their siege camps. Slightly ahead is the blue team, but that's not necessarily an advantage on this map. You'd actually prefer it be slower, coming up just as the point comes up, so the other team has to choose whether to be split or to go on the point. So, a little bit early from the blue team, but they're actually going to push with it here. Neither team has made a move directly here, although Rogue did place a hourglass, a sandglass, on the point. Hogger is hard pushing bottom. Has already taken half of this out. Ektar will come down, hit him. Oh, but he misses the Drain Hope, and now he has to be careful. Leoric always struggles with the duel if the Drain Hope misses. Tiger will come up on the Hogger to capture this point. And he used the Unstoppable to break the trap there, as it looks like the Chattering Teeth. So Junkrat is going for a bit of a run-you-down trap build. Sevens will come out first, for surely we scale. Ektar coming in at will. The trap get popped? No, it's not trapped now. The whip by Ruffian just misses catching Ektar on the wall there. Once again, the Dream Hope. He's looking for the sidestep, but it didn't come out. It misses. We do have a bomb here, the Easy Dynamite from Hogger. Ektar is going to go back bottom and continue to press out this lane, making sure they have wave prio. Memezed looking for hooks, but nothing yet has given them an opportunity for the kill. And so for right now, the point belongs to Clouded Minds. Ektar will come in. He gets pushed back. The hook onto Tempest Jet, but they're not able to stop it. And often, this first one is not locked down until post-level 10, but at the early capture for the members of Clouded Minds. Hogger and Hanzo jump into this. Good choices, as neither of them are the strongest at pushing, and they're going for this front gate in the mid lane. Lots of damage onto it already, down to about a third of its health from Tie-Dye Tights and Memezed. Ulysses shooting little bombs at it. Bomb-de-bomb-de-bomb-de-bomb, ticky-ticky-dang-de-dang. I'll stop singing, I apologize. Ektar, they're looking to put final damage on. I think they're looking to see if they can catch someone out here, but a good flip over the wall by Pterosaur. He gets hooked, though. He's getting very, very low, and boom! Down goes the Hanzo. First kill does go over to the members of Surely We Scale. They will not forgive the Shimada brother for breaking their gates. We have gates for a reason, Hanzo. We have gates for a reason. So, they're trying to take this healing beam, but Beam's going to take a lot of damage, and he gets blown away by the chroming damage. They're both trying to get on the point here. Ektar dueling Tempest, but he's taking so much damage he has to back out. And an abortive attempt at the beacon means it gets stolen, and their tank killed. For Surely We Scale. They should hit 10 slightly ahead of their opponents, but not by much. We do see the Master Assassin for Tychus, which means we are very likely going to see Odin as opposed to the Laser Drill. 10s do come in first, for Surely We Scale. We see the Light Bomb, the Gorge, Entomb, Riptire, and Tychus is undecisive. There is the Odin. On the other side, we do see Bunker, Shockwave, Crystal Aegis. There's the Hook Gorge onto the Blaze. They're going to put him right down on the trap. He's rooted. He's taking a ton of damage. He does pop the shield, but it's too late. And he is murderized. And in 2 more levels, this hook will really come online as it gets the extension at level 13. So the Crystal Aegis, the Temporal Loop, and Dragon Strike, not Dragon's Arrow. This team, this Hanzo, Pterosaur looking for the Twin Dragons, thinking they have enough. And again, when your opponent has the Entomb, they might group up around it. When they have a Gorge, that's not the fastest stitches in the world. So it could be that this Dragon Strike is designed to punish the members of Surely We Scale for their ultimates that force people to group up. Odin is popped to get some siege damage here. Half the wall is down, and one of the turrets is destroyed. Memezed taking big chunks from the Dragon's Breath there. Tiger is behind them. Pops the Shockwave, but it goes in the wrong direction. It hits nobody. Here comes the Dragon Strike, though. Memezed is taking so much damage. He taps. Ektar is here, just autoing and Drain Hoping away. That is 2 ultimates down and no kill for the members of Surely We Scale. Some good defensive plays and some nice sidesteps from Surely We Scale, as Clouded Minds cannot get the value for those abilities. Control point B will come up in about 20 seconds. They're looking to capture the Hogger here. It looks like all 5 members... Yes, all 5 members have gone down. They want to kill this Hogger. He's using Ensemble, but he gets scorched anyway. Rogue puts the Temporal Loop on the Stitches, trying to keep him alive, but out comes the Root, and Hogger is dead. Tiger killed by Ulysses, delivering the final blow on that Junkrat. We do see the camp coming out, and a large wave is pushing into the top, crashing into this gate that was already damaged by the Triglav Protector. But this wave is pushed in, and Hogger will be dead for 10 more seconds. They're not going to take the time to capture the camp. They're going to head instead just for this point. Now, Sandblast, once again, all over again, is not finished for Chromie. Neither is Simple Geometry from the Hanzo. They would like to finish this. Welcome, E-Bagatron. Coming in here with those sick Toki emotes. Well done. Well done. Odin will be popped again. They're looking to break down some fort to prepare it for the Triglav Protector. Bunker is popped, but Tiger's coming to the side. He drops a shockwave. It does hit Tie-Dye Tights on Odin. Out comes the Light Bomb. It only hits one. The Dragon Stripe comes out, hits no one. Ektar is taking a lot of damage. She's backed off, and the Healing Beacon is dropped. They are going to put down... Oh! Anduin tries to pull, but it's slightly mistimed. The Tychus will be killed by the Temporal Loop from the Chromie. Ektar getting part of that, but they hook Ruffian and get a Gorge. It's a 2-for-0 so far, but it's unlikely there's any chance for this Ariel to escape with her life. The Crystal Aegis will come out, but she is dead. Hogger rotates to the mid lane. Ektar should be back shortly. His passive, meaning his death timer, will be much shorter than anyone else's. Convincing Clouded Minds that they do not want to be here when he comes back to life as the Skeleton King. It will be 5-on-5 again shortly. Ariel up in 5 seconds. Tychus will come mid to collect this experience and push back these minions. Bot lane, a large amount of experience sits here as well. It's somewhat even, 70% to 50% on the point, approximately. And we do see Tie-Dye Tights waiting to see if, once again, Hogger will attempt to rotate in. Tiger doesn't know he's here. Tie-Dye Tights putting a lot of damage on the Hogger while the main fight is happening higher up. But there is the kill onto Tiger. Here comes the Dragon's Arrow again, but it's behind the members of Surely We Scale. Once again, Ariel gets hooked. Out comes the Riptide, does a ton of damage to Rogue, who's trying to punish Ulysses. Puts him low, but doesn't kill him. The bunker is dropped. Tempest Jet is low. Ruffian going to heal. A great jet propulsion there. Stuns Tie-Dye Tights. Ektar whipped towards the wall, is taking a lot of damage from the combination of Rogue and Pterosaur. But the heals come out, and Blaze is dead. The hook comes out. It hits nobody. Out comes the Entomb. Also misses everyone. The Time Trap comes out. Ektar is locked down, but on the bottom, Ulysses has killed Hanzo. And it is a 2-for-0 in the top lane for the members of Surely We Scale. And scale they have. This bigger hook, this powerful Odin with now 6 stacks of Master Assassin is blasting away at the top lane. Ektar does climb in, but it looks like he's going to walk straight to the mid lane because this top fort is already destroyed. In the bot lane, it looks like a minion push has taken this fort down to about half. And with only the driver, not a gunner, excuse me, the mid fort is already down to about 2/3. Musehead will climb in with the Stitches, and they're going to start bashing. Junkrat is murdered in the bot lane by Tiger, and I think sometimes Hogger is a character whose damage and ability to get on you can surprise powerful characters. The Time Trap does stop the Triglav Protector, and the 2 tankiest members are inside it, so even when it goes down, which it hasn't quite done, it still has 1% of its health. They are going to abandon it on the street like a car with no tires. Toki with the raiding party of 14. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone coming over from Toki's stream. Please remind me at the end, guys, if there's someone else casting, we will definitely press that raid button. I'm not good at it, so I need to practice. The Entomb comes down. It does not manage to hit Tiger, but the Drain Hope is slurping the life out of the Hogger. Oh, he tried to get through here, but he hits the side and manages to go north. The trap is on him. He's taking the DOT from the grenade, but his team comes to support him, so Hogger will not die this day.
Now
once again, all over again, and here and there is here for the Gorge and for the Hook. We do see Simple Geometry finished at last. 16s have come in for both teams. Junkrat's has still not chosen him, even though they've been 17 for a level and a half. That's quite interesting. We do see the auto attack build for Leoric while their team was while the other team was rotated away. Clouded Minds did take that healing beacon once again. I would say this is the part of the game gets a little more difficult for Clouded Minds. Surely we Scale has characters that are strong in the late game. Leo gets pretty powerful. Stitches is really strong. Tychus is scary. And Blaze as a character is good. As a tank is, I would argue, he's a mediocre tank in the late game unless he gets like a spot on 3 or 4 man jet propulsion. Now, Ariel is a fantastic healer. Although in the late game her heals don't feel quite as big. Chromie is always disgusting. That double temporal loop is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And it feels like both teams are waiting for 20 or the big play. Now, Tempest Jet coming in. He misses the jet propulsion. He doesn't get locked down. Memes that takes a good chunk from the damage dealers of Clouded Minds. Out comes the heal, and that 15% increase is mattering at this point. Ektar is pushing bottom towards the last fort that Clouded Minds have. Hogger will be sent to answer. Ektar looking to be a pain in Hogger's behind, but Hogger has very good clear, and this shouldn't be a problem for long. In the meantime, the members of Clouded Minds are sending 4 people to reinforce this camp, but it's already dead. The hook comes out, it just misses. The piercing sandblasts come out, do so much damage. Out comes the Dragon Attack, but again, it'll miss everyone. The Entomb comes out, hits no one, and the Light Bomb also hits no one. Ektar is killed. Memesa does manage to grab, but oh, Tempest just gets bombed onto him by Ulysses. What an just a terrible accidental misplay. Heck, oh no, just oh no. Just a bunch of plays that were so close to great and didn't quite work out. When the bunker went down, Entomb came out and hit nobody. Give unsolicited advice better with rating, put a post-it note on your monitor. That's a good idea, Toki. The Entomb came out and it didn't hit anyone. The light bomb was already on Leoric. So it hit nobody, and the bunker was out. So people who were in danger just climbed in. And then Memesid was so low on the Stitches, but Ulysses was trying to bomb people away, I think, and he bombed people right onto his tank, which killed Stitches and meant that Ariel got away. There's a big stun on Ektar. He has come back, but he has to use the... No! He takes way too much damage and is blown away, and now 20s are out for the members of Clouded Minds, as the bot fort has gone down, and the mid is going down to Hogger right now. So the first keep in this game has dropped as 20s come out. We do see the upgraded bunkers. They do hook and stun Tempest Jet. Blaze is dead. Sorry, that hook was off screen. I didn't see it. We have the fortified bunker, no control from Hogger. Shield of Hope, standard piercing sands. We've seen how much that can do. And the Dragon Awakens for Hanzo, meaning we'll see those twin dragons become quad dragons and octo dragons and whatever 16 Jin dragons. But 20s are now coming out also for the members of Surely We Scale, and this can be scary. Master Hooker, terrifying. Silence Entomb, buried alive, terrifying. Big Red Button, scary. Censure, oh, we'll still see what Junkrat has to pick here. And what a match we have. The bot is being captured currently by Rogue, who does have a time trap on it. And right now, Waves has to be a priority for the members of Surely We Scale as they take their camp and deal with this push. Tiger will capture their siege camp for his team as well. Lyric has just finished the Mithril Mace, which is very powerful. Gives 20% attack speed at first, and then it becomes 30 more. So 50% attack speed buff. Here comes the Silence, the Buried Alive. It does so much damage. Chromie does get the Crystal Aegis. Out comes the Double Dragon, and Memes takes so much damage. Does he drop the Healing Beacon? No. I don't know if he forgot he had it. No. Now it will come out. The hook on to Tempest Jet. He does pop the bunker now. The team trying to help. Hogger was top lane, not nearby. The Double Dragons will come out again, but another hook! Fantastic hook there from Memesmed as they kill Tempest Jet. Hogger now has to use his unstoppable. It's coming. Oh, fantastic hook from Memes, and again they're going to kill the Knoll, and down he goes. Odin has popped the big red button, is doing big red damage, and another fantastic hook Memes that grabs Ruffian. They're going to kill the Ariel as well. She's gorged. And she's going to go down. All sorts of damage coming out onto Rogue as well. Down to 300 hit points. They no longer have a fort here. It's a 3 for nothing for the members of Surely We Scale. Rogue is taking so much damage. Boom! Now, the Double Dragon will come out again. But, again, very little value. Ektar is sitting on the point, capturing it as Leoric, and the rest of Surely We Scale is looking to take a keep of their own. They will have to be careful, though. There is a siege camp, and looks like 3 catapults pushing directly onto their core in this moment. And outside of Blaze, I don't know if they're able to finish the core in time. Are they going to back up, or are they going to push forward as they finish this? They haven't decided yet. They're pushing forward now. Hogger is up as well as Blaze. Ariel will be up in 10 and Chromie in 20. The hands come out. The Double Dragons are going to come out as well, which is going to split them a bit. Tie-Dye Tights is going to have to be careful. The hook does go onto Tempest Jets as the Walker is coming. Where has Leo gone? Where has Leo gone? He's gone back to stop this push as the core is at 80%. Tie-Dye Tights taking so much damage that No Control hits Ulysses so hard, and Tie-Dye Tights does go down. Ulysses gets in just before being killed by the Hogger. And Anduin will get in as well. Kagamine Lin. While Leo is forced to push out this top wave. It's a 5-on-4. The kills are 12 to 10 in favor of Surely We Scale, but it's not how many kills, it's when they happened. Leo is splitting top at the moment. The Triglav Protector is being used for defense, but the 5-man of Clouded Minds is going to push hard into the bottom lane. Another great hook onto Tempest Jet, but he manages to get stopped by the wall. The Double Dragons comes out, does no damage to heroes. Ektar looking for the flank that will give him the Buried Alive on multiple members, or at least a most important member. Honestly, what you're usually looking for is a DPS and the healer to bury it alive so that there is no response. If you get one of the damage and the healer, no one can heal them, and usually not enough damage comes out to kill a Leoric. Unless you really mess it up. Or you lock down a pure auto attacker, that can suck. But this Triglav Protector has been used defensively this time. They are standing on a time trap currently. Oh, but they know it's there. It's been seen. And the Triglav Protector will blow up. Both teams taking a moment. They both have 5. They're both in the high 20s. This game has gone 21 minutes. And once again, Clouded Minds are going to go hard for this healing beacon. And basically all they need to do to win this game is not get multiple hooks on them from Meme's end. His hooks in the fight down here, gorgeous. Over and over hooking the members of Clouded Minds. They do not want to find themselves in a position to get hit. They will capture this bottom turret as well. Leo looking to put pressure on by pushing this bot lane out. Now, Clouded Minds does steal the top siege camp in response and will go back to take their own as the other members of Surely We Scale come in to clear out this camp and more katas. So with pretty much everything on the map to be captured, the question is who makes the next big play or who makes the next big mistake? Meme said, ping to be careful, or perhaps the enemy team pinged, I'm not sure, but they are standing on a time trap and they don't know it. The pings are coming out, be careful. Again, the waves are pushing directly towards the keep, and Ulysses is being sent back to handle it. But Ektar being chased, not hard though. They're trying to find their... Here comes Jet Propulsion, but a great Wraith Walk by Ektar means he does not get stunned. He's still at about 60% health. Ulysses being sent. There's a good hook on the Tiger, but they don't manage to lock him down, and they decide to back off as Ulysses backs up to once again stop this big push of minions. Oh, that was very close to catching Ruffian, but it does not, and instead they're sieging this mid-gate. Out comes the Double Dragon. It doesn't do any damage to anybody. But, you know, it was there. Another hook comes out, but it doesn't quite connect with Tempest Jet. Who knows who will get the next big fight? Both these teams being so patient. Both teams wanting to make sure they don't leave themselves in a situation where a drawn-out fight leads to a lane pushing to a bunch off their core. Already 23% has come off the core of Surely We Scale. Both teams traveling in a clump, not wanting to get caught out and picked off. The hook comes out, it just misses Pterosaur. Out comes the scatter arrow, and it does put some damage. This bottom keep is being sieged up, and Chromie's damage is ridiculous. The zoning double dragon. Out comes the Odin, the hook comes out, it doesn't hit anyone. The big red button being used. There's a Gorge onto Arya, they're going to try and push them back. Well done there. The Entomb comes out and hits no one, but it's meant to zone. Ruffian is taking so much damage here, they're not able to save her. The hook on a Tempest Jet, he's taking so much damage. He goes down also, that's a 2 for nothing for the members of Surely We Scale. And that is it, this is what they've been waiting for. This is what they need to win the game. As there's a hard rotational escape from the members of Clouded Minds. That is not on the minds of Surely We Scale are not clouded. They are going for the end of the game. Ektar thinking about taking that, but the team is saying, no, it's not worth it. We want all damage on the core right now. Now, Odin is not available for 46 more seconds, so will not be used here. Chromie, no, Hanzo gets hooked, but manages to leap over to the the double dragon will come out now, trying to distance him, as does the temporal loop, and a good hook from Kagamine Lens means Mimset is not caught. There comes the shadow, but here comes the silent bird alive on Hanzo. He's dead. Ektar taking a lot of damage. The no control comes out from this Hawker, but he's going to take a lot of damage. He goes down as well. Rogue trying to kill Memes and blows him up with the Dragon's Breath, and out comes the snipes from the Sand Blasts. And they do crazy damage. Blaze is up right now, but they're still 2 dead. But Tychus goes down as well. It's a 3 versus 3, and they're going to have to back away again. Kagamine does drop the stun, but Ektar willing to give his life for his Anduin. But Anduin goes down as well, and now it's going to be the members of Clouded Minds who want to end the game. They already have minions and 3 cannons on the core. This game has been ridiculous. Leo is chasing. Junkrat looking to see if there's an opportunity to push, but no, he's going to have to back and try to defend. The members of Clouded Minds are going to come in immediately and look to end with this Chromie damage since Hanzo is down for 8 more seconds. Ulysses is back. The stun does hit Rogue. Riptire will come out. It's going to hit Rogue. Takes her down to about a quarter of health. She used the here and there. Out comes the Crystal Ages as well. Stitches will be up in 1 second. Rogue takes so much damage, and Rogue is killed now. They're backing away. Ektar will be back momentarily. The hook comes out on the Tempest. Oh, and the bird alive as well. Tempest check goes down. Ruffian looking to mount up so she doesn't get caught, and she manages to get away from the bombs and the auto attacks of Ulysses on Junkrat. Hogger back alive. Hanzo taking the camp, and with the staggered deaths, neither team has been able to get an advantage. 62% on Surely We Scale's core, 91% on Clouded Minds core. If this series goes to 3, I will not have a voice by evening tonight. Good gravy. So, Surely We Scale looking to capture this point. Tiger has not been sensed in this bush. It is still 15 seconds before Chromie returns and 22 before Tempest Jet returns. Leo going top, needs to push this camp away and clear any catapults. Tiger, so patient, waiting in the bush. Both teams throwing haymakers, but neither team with a glass jaw. Both of them taking the punch, throwing the counter punch, throwing again. I wouldn't be surprised to see an accidental bad play at the game. Both these teams are getting punch drunk. Memeshead goes for the hook, it misses. A good whip there by Ruffian as Tiger jumps into the back line. They're going to try and kill Tiger here, though. He pops a good no control, but he takes too much damage, and he's down. The Riptire is coming out now. It's targeting Rogue. He hasn't chosen to blow it up yet. Bam! It kills Hanzo. Big boom. Ektar drops the bird alive onto Ariel. She pops the shield of hope, but it's not enough. She's dead. They're going after Tempest Jet now as Memes finally misses the hook. It only took him all game to miss a hook. That's 3 for 0, and this time they mean it. Surely we scale. They're not going to give away another opportunity to end the game. They're going to end it. Here comes Ektar with the Triglav Protector, pardon my brain fart there. The root on a Tempest Jet. Memezed just trying to body them away. A good unstoppable pull means that the temporal loop does not get Memezed killed, although he is taking ridiculous damage. Memezed, he's gonna climb into, no, he's just trying to zone, but Memezed goes down. Kagamine Len isn't even trying to heal anymore. Tempest Jet goes down, Rogue's taking a ton of damage. And that is it. Game number 1 goes to Surely We Scale as they finally manage to throw the punch that ends the game. So that was a pretty good one, guys. That was pretty fun. My voice doesn't work anymore. Hot googity moogity. Chromie with the ridiculous damage here. The kill is 22 to 50, and a lot of those in the end game. These were really close until they started to get the big buried alive and the big hooks, and like we mentioned in game, Surely We Scale did have a slightly stronger scaling team. They didn't need the huge damage numbers because it was the, like, every 6-second hook. It was the buried alive that really started making it impossible for a good... and Rogue played amazingly on the Chromie. Some great work defending on the core and killed people every time, but just not quite enough to get their team the win. These are the talents. If you have any such interest in them, feel free to watch the VOD and pause it. But we will pop back into our map best of 3 view, and we will find out soon where game number 2 is going. But my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, HOTS fans of every stripe. That was a brilliant game number 1. Every character with some really impactful plays. Now, I do wonder if Terrorsaur maybe misclicked to get the Dragon Strike. It's so rarely played at this level, and I don't think it saw as much value as we might have seen from Dragon's Arrow. Or maybe he just prefers it. Maybe he finds he gets more value from it, and this game just didn't quite work out the way they would have wanted to. But I wouldn't be surprised if we asked Terrorsaur and he said, just a misclick. But we did see some really strong plays, and looking forward to a game number 2. And it looks, ladies and gentlemen, like game number 2 has been chosen, and it's going to be Infernal Shrines. So it looks like this time that the map was chosen again by the members of Surely We Scale. And they did choose Infernal Shrines. First pick was taken by the members of Clouded Minds. So game number 2 will be Infernal Shrines, which is a really fun map to cast, a fun map to watch, and a fun map to play. It gives you more opportunities for macro with the camps. There's camps that go in every lane. Each side has their own bruiser camp that goes in the top. Each team has their own siege camp that goes through the mid, and there's a neutral siege camp in the bottom that teams will usually go for when they have pressure in the bottom lane. So, excuse me. And in the middle, we see a powerful Punisher. It can go top, middle, or bottom. You have to collect 40 minions to get it. And there's 3 kinds. There's the mortar one that does some damage in little bombs. There's arcane, which has the circling lasers, which if you play D3, you know how annoying that can be. And there's the frozen Punisher, which turns off buildings or roots players, so it's considered often to be the strongest one. This is another map where you can take poke, you can take burst, you can take team fight, you can take crowd control. There's a lot of different ways to play this map, and I love when teams bring fun and exciting new drafts to this map. So, we are just waiting for the last members of these teams to come in. Um, but yeah, after an incredibly exciting game, these teams, like, again, they're 7 points apart in the standings, but it doesn't seem like it. They play so close, so stylistically similar as well, in that they seem to find aggression at the same time. They seem to choose to be safe around the same time. It's almost like watching a mirrored match, in that both these teams can be very patient at times. Both these teams have really strong offlaners who look for fun opportunities. Both these teams love to wait until the perfect moment. They like to find the moment that will get them the win. And not that every team doesn't do that, but the way in which they do that, the way in which they just play the map until they can leap on their opponent, uh, it's really fun and it's exciting to watch. So I am absolutely pumped for game number 2. Again, as a rabid fan of casting, I'm hoping for a Clouded Minds win game number 2, because that means we're going to get the most exciting thing. We are going to get a winner takes all sudden death game 3. And as a hockey fan, hey, sudden death overtime is the best. There's nothing more exciting than one mistake, meaning you win or you lose and go home. So, uh, we're still waiting for a last few readies from one of our teams. Players do get to take a bio break in between games, but this caster don't need one. Although I should probably take a sip of something to drink, otherwise, I'll be whispering by the end of game number 2. I suppose I should get the tunes going, but again, I'm not as good at this whole getting things going as Mr. Toki is. He is truly a master. Peldor too, guys. If you haven't followed Peldor and Toki, please do so. They're both amazing casters. Peldor has the kind of production value that most of us dream of. Great cuts, great fades, just fantastic production value. His stuff looks super pro. So big love to Peldor's cast. And Toki, I mean, this guy is the man of streaming in Heroes of the Storm. I think he does cast more than anyone else. He runs double headers frequently. So if I can spread the love to the casters, guys, find these guys, and give them love. There's other great casters out there, but I've been particularly impressed recently by those two guys. So find them, follow them, blow them smoochies, and maybe even drop a follow if you're feeling polite. So again, last time these two teams played, which was just last week, their last game was against each other, and it was a 2-1 win for the Clouded Minds. If they want that same score, they have to pull off the reverse sweep. Never easy, but if you can get it to game number 3, anything can happen. I'm curious to see how much the drafts change. I think Stitches can be strong on this map, but not quite as strong as Volskaya. But I do think the Chromie Hanzo can be very strong on this map. You can definitely kill the minions on the shrines that way. And again, the less you have to get into a tight area, the better. And both Chromie and Hanzo don't need to be crowded into that tight little shrine area to do their clearing. So it looks like one of our teams has called ready. We'll see if the other does so also. The caster has rolled R as well. And now we're discussing the best D&D classes in the lobby, because That's what's really important, guys. Um, I mean, HOTS is great, but D&D is where it's at. It's where it's at. So, I'm considering who the maybe top players um of both teams were last game as we continue to wait for some slow returns from Bio. Um, I think we saw a lot of value. Ruffian had a lot of healing on that Oriole. Tempest Jet had some strong stuns on Blaze, but again, in the late game, it was just so hard to stay alive on that tank. On the other side, Memezed had some bonkers hooks. Absolutely nutty. Ektar had some great buried alives. Kagamine Len, his Anduin is the kind of Anduin you don't notice at all because it's doing a great job keeping everyone alive. Um, so I feel like the team really came together as a team in game number 1 for Surely We Scale, and it looked really, really good. But it looks like we have ours on both sides, and on Infernal Shrines, we'll be watching game number 2 as we pop into the draft between Surely We Scale and Clouded Minds. Just a short delay here. We're getting the countdown. What's the word I'm looking for? Jump the gun. Also, don't jump guns. It's dangerous. Don't be dangerous, guys. Infernal Shrines. Let's see. Last time they did the ban phase like 3 seconds apiece. Let's see if they're equally rapid in game number 2. As the losing team, Clouded Minds did pick first pick again, meaning map pick did go over to Surely We Scale, so this is their map. Stitches is banned. They've had enough of Memezed hooking left and right. The Hogger comes out. They felt like Tiger's Hogger had a lot of value, and it can be especially strong at clearing minions. The Sonya will come out again, so obviously they don't want to see Ektar spinning to win. And then a Haka comes out. Both these teams very prepared and ready to go fast. So a bit of choke in the offlane with Hogger, Haka, and Sonya all removed. I wonder if it will be a priority in the draft section as well, with so many coming off the board so rapidly. And remember, the 2 picks, Chromie comes out again for Rogue, and he was excellent on it. The only 2 picks that Surely We Scale will get in this draft are right now. If they don't want to see another ban of an offlaner, they'll pick one now for Ektar. Although I would suspect Ektar's hero pool is decently wide. They are taking the full length of time on the picks this time, deciding what is the priority. And it's Johanna and Junkrat, double J. Johanna was banned last time. This time it was Stitches. So we'll see what memes does Johanna look like. Well, once again, Junkrat just excelling at controlling spaces. So Ulysses will get another opportunity to giggle like an insane Australian. Ariel will come out again for Ruffian, but this time Muradin is chosen by Tempest Jet, so he goes for a true tank as opposed to the Blaze, which again was not terrible, but struggles to be a big boy tank in the mid-20s for levels. Muradin is an excellent tank, and especially on this map can hop out of a shrine fight, get the second or third win healing, pop back in. So it's going to be the final ban from Surely We Scale, and they are going to remove Falstad again. So once again, another big 3-lane map, Infernal Shrines. They will remove once again. So that's 2 global heroes they've gotten rid of, and Brightwing isn't on the table. This time Leoric is removed. They did not like Ektar's Skeleton King and his Buried Alive. So this time he is forced. 2 of the biggest factors from the last time, Stitches and Leo, removed. And this is a fair choke, but we have to remember this is also a choke for Tiger. Both these offlaners will be playing different heroes this time around. So, Kagamine Len takes the Deckard Cain, the elderly man with his potions, and Blaze will be played in the offlane for Ektar. Very strong on this map, very strong in general, can double soak if you need him to, has the bunker to protect the backline when necessary. An all-around very good offlaner, probably second or third best after Dahaka and Blaze, widely considered. We're going to see the last 2 picks out come from Pterosaur. There is the Tychus, and the offlane Thrall comes out. So this is a very aggressive team fight, which should give Chromie some space. Mern, Thrall, and Tychus love to put out damage in the close to mid-range, which should help Rogue just throw out spells like willy-nilly in the backline and give Ariel some space as well. The final pick will come out for Tie-Dye Tights, who is the flex/DPS player. We'll see if he has something interesting to bring us, or if we will see a Hanzo. Both teams have a sniper this time, and we have double Overwatch damage from Surely We Scale. While on the other side, it's a lot more World of Warcraft with the Murd and Thrall Chromie. But game number 2 between Surely We Scale and Clouded Minds is coming up right now. Let's get rolling. And again, I hope you're as excited as I am. This is going to be a big darn deal. Alrighty. Get all our little fun things going here. In the blue, we have once again Surely We Scale, who are up 1-0 in this series. They are representing the high heavens. We have Memezid on Johanna, Ektar on Blaze, Kaga, Mine Len on Deckard, Tie-Dye Tice on the Hanzo, and Ulysses on Junkrat. Representing the Burning Hells, we have Clouded Minds, Tempest Jet on Muradin, Ruffian on Ariel, Pterosaur playing Tychus, Tigerth playing Thrall, and Chromie being played by Rogue. For the War Chief! Some quick snipe outs. Let's look at our level 1 talents. We have Zealous Glare, the flashlight build from Memezid. We do have the Adrenaline Stim Pack for Blaze, which is standard in the off lane. Big Jet Propulsion from Ektar, but it misses, and there comes the root onto Johanna. More damage is going into Tempest Jet than onto Ektar, but he is starting to get bopped a little bit here as Memezid looks to make sure that Ektar can escape. We do have the Sapphire for Deckard Cain, and Target Practice, hitting every hero with Stormbow 3 times from Tie-Dye Tights here. So not Scatter Arrow. There's a ton of damage onto Tie-Dye Tights, so he gets extremely low, but a great root comes out there. But oh! The quarterback grenade kills Tie-Dye Tights, and he is going to have to walk back in shame from the Hall of Storms. Although he already finished hitting 1 hero. But good for him. We do have the extra wound timers also from Junkrat, as the blue team does go for their own camp. There's a blind Tempest. They decide to give up on their camp for the moment. They don't want to get caught. Ulysses takes a lot of damage, blown away! And the CC chaining and the damage chaining is looking very clean and very crisp for Clouded Minds this early in the game. On their side, they've taken 3rd wind on this Murden, so big heals. And late in the game, you can heal about 1,000 hit points a second. It's crazy business. We have the Searing Light for Ariel once again. Quarterback from Tychus. Rolling Thunder from Thrall, which does give % health damage. And we do have, once again, the first time from Chromie for those big Sandblast damage. And last time, Rogue was pounding out the damage. 110k, or 111k by the end of last game, if I'm recalling correctly. They haven't cleared this last Khazra of the siege camp. It means their first turret is entirely down. Hanzo pushes out the bot lane, but now Tie-Dye Tights is forced to come up to attack this last Khazra. Meanwhile, Clouded Minds is going to take their own siege camp in the top lane. The offlaners do offlaner things. The first shrine is activating in the middle, and it will be a frozen shrine. Very strong early in the game. Being able to freeze buildings and root players after it jumps. If it jumps and roots just right and you don't get your tank out of there, they can lose half their health in the early game to the jump root combo. So, Surely We Scale being forced to clear while they do take their camp, and once again they're slightly ahead of the members of Clouded Minds, who are also taking their camp. Blaze is pushing out this top lane hard, while the bot lane, a large wave is forming for Clouded Minds. The altar is started by our blue team. Surely we scale, and out comes the grenade to steal some, but it is still a decent lead. Memes are taking a lot of damage on the Johanna there, but pops the Iron Skin. And the damage early on will be to the advantage with this Thrall as opposed to Blaze. Now, here comes the Scroller Identify. Ektar jumps in but misses, and it's going to take so much damage here. They don't have the CC from the Stormbolt misses. They're going to try and turn this around. Rogue gets thrown into the middle of the team. Tempest Jet is taking a lot of damage. Rogue's at only 200 hit points as she backs away, and Ruffian looking to heal the diminutive gnome. Tiger now taking a ton of damage, and it's 22-19 on the minions, but being forced to back out are the members of Clouded Minds. But the health bars for Surely We Scale are not looking very buffed up. Ektar is down to about a quarter of his health, forced to jet propulsion out as Tempest Jet comes back in with that third wind healing. Tiger seeing a lot of damage, but Memes that is blown away! And that is a kill on the Johanna. 3 kills to nothing so far for the members, but the blue team managed to steal away the last few, and so they will get the Frozen Punisher on their team. The jumps on Oriole, that's the last person you want to get beat up by this Punisher, but it will charge up, and its next jump won't be about another 8 seconds now. Both teams hit 7 at almost the exact same time, as Blaze answers Thrall on the top, and Junkrat is just going to push this large wave up to the camp. They are going to give up on this Punisher. It does freeze here, but it's going to punch Murden a bit. It really doesn't seem to like short people. Blaze gets 1v1'd in the top lane by Tiger. His corpse just viciously and cruelly left right next to the healing fountain. How mean. Meanwhile, we see the 4-mans of each team gathering up in this bottom lane. Rogue looking to set up time traps so they can safely capture this. Ulysses throwing a trap in, seeing if it's possible to interrupt. But Memezet isn't in position to help with this, so they're going to let this go over. And it will go to Clouded Minds, as they are at almost a full level ahead at this point with that Blaze death and so much experience going over to the Thrall. Tie-Dye Tights is mid. He has 2 stacks so far here. I don't know if I've seen the Dragon Hunters before. Hitting a hero Stormbow grants 5 spell power for 12 seconds. So a bit of a mage build, a Q mage build for Tie-Dye Tights. Again, not sure I've seen that before. The Temporal Loop will come out on Hanzo, and he does take a lot of damage, about 60% of his health. Oh, and the grenade almost kills him, but Kagamine Len does get the heal out there. They manage to save the Hanzo. Nobody goes down as Chromie is backing, since she is almost out of mana. Tiger in the top lane. Ektar has been double soaking. He does push a full wave into this gate that's almost destroyed. This gate's down, this gate's missing a tower, and the top gate also completely down. So even though they lost the first objective, they are not in a bad position. Every lane is prepped if they get a Enforce. Now, 10s will come out. We see Crystal Aegis from Oriole, Odin from the Tychus, Avatar from Murden, Earthquake from the Thrall. I often hear players say they prefer the playmaking of Sundering, but in tight corridors, Thrall's Earthquake can be absolutely demolishing to characters who don't have a big escape. Now, on the other side, we do see Bunker. Blessed Shield from Johanna. Stay a while and listen from the Deckard Cain. Stay a while and listen. The Dragon Arrow does come out this time from the Hanzo, and Riptire comes out again. And there were some great Riptires last game from Ulysses. Memezet manages to grab the 4-man here, take some damage, but there. Oh, the Stay a while, listen comes out. Ruffian is dead. Tempest Jet is forced to pop his Avatar, but he's incredibly low as well. Memezet looks for the Condemn, not quite able to hit. Tie-Dye firing off arrows left and right. Still only has 2 stacks on his target practice at the moment. Junkrat pushing out the bottom. Agamine Len coming to help Ektar as they clear the Bruiser camp, and Tychus and Tempest Jet will do the same here. In the bottom lane, we have a Mortar Punisher, often considered to be, if not tied for first, then just behind it second. And it does scale and get pretty strong with its damage to buildings. But the positioning on the shrine does go, the advantage goes to Surely We Scale. Both camps being sent out at almost exact same time. Red team coming in from the top. Tiger tries to jump onto Mimza. The root comes out. Odin is popped by the Tychus. Out comes the root from Kagamine Len. Tempest Jet at about 3/4 health now. Tiger looking to hit roots. Misses, though. And the Odin attacks are coming out as the blue team is being very careful. Jet Propulsion comes out and stuns. Out comes a Blessed Shield as well. They have Tiger and Tempest bunched up, but so much damage is going out on the memes. Out comes a Dragon there, which stuns Tiger as he drops the Earthquake, but they kill Ulysses in response. Rogue blowing away the Junkrat there. Tempest taking a lot of damage, pulled back in by the Condemned, but the Avatar means he still has a large chunk of health, and the blue team will fall back to tap and looking to go back in here. Ruffian is at half health, heals herself. Tempest Jet coming out with the Avatar. It can't have that much long left on it. A stun there onto Ektar, but Tempest Jet does get condemned. His jump gets interrupted just as the Avatar comes out. Crystal Aegis will come out. Ektar is getting incredibly low. The bunker comes out, though. The bunker is going to go down. 500 health on Ektar, 300 health on Ektar. Out comes the memes that try to pull back a good Jet Propulsion, but they cannot. No, Blaze gets killed. Once again, Pterosaur with these excellent grenades and finishes off Blaze as Ulysses was forced to respond to this pushing camp top. But he needs to be careful. Tiger is looking for the kill here. This is going to go down. Tiger looking to kill Ulysses, but he's just going to pop himself away. In the bot lane, the rest of this team is forced to back away as they lose their bottom fort as well to the Mortar Punisher and the 4-man of Clouded Mines. Ulysses, oh, he gets caught by the root. Tiger trying to kill him. Another good bomb, and this time, Tiger will back away. In the bot lane, this gate is going down. They've managed to pull the Punisher over the gate, but this gate is going down quickly, even as early at level 13. And down goes the Punisher, but the gate is down. And there's about a half-level lead for the members of Clouded Mines. Blaze pushes out the top lane, is coming back to defend this huge wave of minions at mid. They check their camp, but it has been stolen once again as the rest of this gate goes down. Clouded Mines will take the bottom camp since they do have control over the map at the moment. Someday I'm going to do like a golf cast on one of these. Oh, that's a very nice oil spill, followed by the Fire Fists from Ektar. What excellent work. Tie-dye with a nice storm bow there. I don't know if my noise gate would pick it up, though. They do root. They're putting damage onto Ektar. He's then portal looped as well. He's taking a lot of damage. Oh, but out comes the bunker, which is going to keep him safe. Out comes the dragon arrow. It only hits one, though, and Memeset is incredibly low. The earthquake comes out. Stay a while and listen as Papa Kagamine Len now taking a lot of damage. Temporal loop. No, I missaw there. Kagamine Len does get blown away once again by the Tychus grenade. They try to get Tiger back in response, and they can. Avatar is popped. And there is the time trap, which unfortunately means Ektar does not get whipped, but Rogue manages to kill him anyway. They are going to siege up hard on this middle fort and will take it down with help from these Khazra Spear Chuckers. So that is a full level lead now to the members of Clouded Mines, and they really want to take this series to a game number 3. They're sieging up on the mid gate. Remember, they've already taken all but about this little chunky of the bottom gate. And the top gate is also getting hit by a catapult right now. Meanwhile, they have lost no structures permanently, and in fact, the gate is still mostly intact in the bottom lane. They're looking to see if they can find a rotational disadvantage. But Tempest Jet does get caught by a big Junkrat trap, meaning they're aware that this team is here. They are a full level behind, and 16s have been reached for Clouded Mines as they take their Bruiser camp. So I suspect what we'll see from Surely We Scale, they're going to want to soak up to 16. Now, we won't see a Bruiser in the top lane. In fact, the next Punisher will be an Arcane Punisher in the middle lane again. Clouded Mines is going to rotate in and steal the Bruiser camp here. Without 16, I really doubt that Surely We Scale is going to try and contest, and they don't. It goes over easily to the members of Clouded Mines, and that's going to be a double Bruiser that needs to be cleared as it knocks on their top keep gate. This Arcane Shrine will be active in about 10 seconds from now. 16 should be coming in very quickly. And there it is for the members of Surely We Scale. But the shrine will be clicked on, and they will start clearing these minions immediately. Blaze is split from his team, is simply keeping an eye on what's happening here. on his Lava E-Pony. Blue team, they have got 16. This is where they're going to want to fight. It's even talent here, but they are behind by 20. There is a stun onto Memezed, and there a bunch of damage comes out. The Blessed Shield hits all three. Out comes the Riptire. It's going to hit Ruffian, but the Earthquake is making life hard on the backline. Tagamilin is trying to back up. He's taking so much damage. He's blown away. Ektar desperately trying to help his healer, but he's taken out as well. Oriel gets credit for both of those kills. What a murderer. The Angel of Hope killing everyone. Ulysses gets caught and blown away, but the bombs! Oh, the bombs that triggered mayhem blows the poor Dwarf King to bits. But that is a 3-for-1 at the end of the day, and a Punisher for Cloud and Mines as they siege hard into the mid lane. Now we do see the finished target practice for Hanzo here. His Qs do a lot of damage. He misses that one, though, on the Punisher as it walks away from Memezed and back towards the keep. It's at, well, about 50% now, but this keep is at 0% as it gets blown up. This Arcane Punisher does have the lasers that do a good chunk of damage if you stand on them for too long. But it kind of ticks you down, so you don't realize at first how much damage you're taking. Now there's a rotation by Tiger towards the top lane. The Blessed Shield comes out, but it misses. And that cooldown is down for the Johanna. The mid camp is captured by Clouded Mines, and now they're going to look to push this bottom lane. And Ektar is here, trying to clear, but the Temporal Loop comes out, and if he doesn't have Bunker, there it is. The Bunker comes out, which keeps him safe from the Temporal Loop, which is not a double Temporal Loop. It is Piercing Sands for the extra Q damage from Rogue. Means that takes a lot of damage. There are 2 catapults here. The blind comes out, and out comes the Divine Hammers as well. They're looking to defend here, but there is a camp pushing mid, and it's going to go crash right against their core. The Root is on a Tempest Jet. Oh, the Jet Propulsion just misses, and so Tempest Jet will get out of here safely as his third win gets him back up to 80% health. Ektar will clear this mid lane, but 20s are coming out very, very soon for the members of these guys. Clouded Mines. I definitely didn't have a brain fart there. Shut up. They're taking their siege camp, but 20s will be upon us momentarily, and that's a level and a half disadvantage. Now, thankfully, the shrine isn't activating right away, but this is something that Surely We Scale is going to want to soak quickly. They do not want a 19 to 20 fight on the final shrine. So we see Rewind from Muradin, Shield of Hope from Oriel, Big Red Button from Tychus. We already knew Piercing Sands, and we do have the Earthen Shields, which will make killing Clouded Mines even more difficult after that has been used. They're rotating toward the bottom, but Memezed had his eye out. A good sidestep on the horse. The Time Trap is here, though. Can they control Memezed? The Unstoppable Iron Skin comes out. The boop on Tychus. Out comes this shield. Wow, Blessed Shield comes out. Also the Dragon Arrow. They kill the Tychus. That's so much damage on Memezed's Johanna as the Crystal Aegis does come out. So much damage on Ektar as well. 150 health. He's dead. Thrall kills them. Tie-Dye Tights trying to get damage in here as Ulysses from the other side as the catapult solo slaps this bottom keep as once again there are 2 catapults and 3 Khazra pushing in the middle. But with 1 member down, and that's the member with Odin, Clouded Mines is going to have to back away, and this will basically push 20s right into the lap of Surely We Scale. They are going to steal away this camp, which does take some experience, making it slightly slower for Surely We Scale to hit 20s. But with the waves crashing into their core, from here, they should be 20 soon enough. The Shrine will activate in 6 seconds from now, and the members of Clouded Mines are looking to get that advantage immediately. We do see Blinded by the Light, the big shield from Johanna, Fortified Bunker. We've got Respect the Elderly, so a bigger stay a while and listen with a Bullseye, and we have not yet seen the Junkrat ultimate ability, or her ultimate heroic, I guess. The Condemn comes out. Tempest Jet takes a good chunk of damage from Tie-Dye Tights there, but this choke point is really causing lots of damage to go over. It's 23 to 15. Both teams are actually looking just to take what they can for minions here. Ektar and Memeset up on the front. Tiger looking to come in from the side, but the flank, they're not able to. They're getting way more minions, though. There's the root. So much damage. The Dragon Arrow comes out as well. A big jet propulsion comes out from the Blaze. They're asleep, but Johanna goes down. Oriole is so low, she's going to go down now. We've got Tempest Jet very low, but Blaze is blown away, and the whole front line is gone for Shirley We Scale. Tie-Dye Tights, Ulysses, and Kagamine Land looking to back up, but the root comes out on the Kagamine Land, and you can only run from a Thrall for so long. The Mortar Punisher is pushing hard down the bot lane, and it's a 3-for-1. And again, that Earthen Shield's making it so difficult for anyone to get finished off by the members of Shirley We Scale. And without a miracle defense, this series will be going to a game number 3. Now, it is the 2 damage dealers left alive. There is a remote possibility that they can maybe pick some people off, like we saw in the last game. But the jump goes immediately onto Ulysses. He's blown away! Mortar Punisher not liking Australians, not liking that lanky fellow who stole his bombs, and that will be the end of game number 2. It goes over to Clouded Mines, and we are headed for game number 3! I'm not excited. You're excited. The kills were 16 to 6, and this match not quite as close as the last one, as it feels like the choke onto the offlane did benefit Clouded Mines more than it benefited Shirley We Scale. Ektar was by no means a bad Blaze, so please don't get me wrong. The Blaze was fine, but he didn't look as comfortable on it as he did look on the Leoric. And it did struggle. He got some great jet propulsions, but it just struggled to provide what the team needed quite as much. A couple of times he was busy stunning the backline, and that Thrall was so dangerous to his backline that it didn't really matter that Blaze was stunning the opposing team's backline. Parasaur's Tychus was very dangerous. Once again, Rogue's Chromie was super destructive, and I think I'd be kind of shocked if we don't see it banned in game number 3. But you know where we're going? We are going to game number 3 in this best of 3 match between these two teams. Oh, just taking a quick breath and a quick drink here, fellas and ladies. This has been just a really, really solid match, but the ban changes, the team changes for game number 3, or for game number 2, it really seemed like that helped settle Clouded Mines, and they came out right from the beginning, got some kills, stole the camp, were incredibly self-possessed in game number 2, for lack of a better phrase. They knew what they wanted to do, and they did it. They lost the first Punisher by just a couple. And then after that, they never let another one go again. It was crazy pants, banana sauce. Game number 3 is going to be on Alterac Pass, one of the biggest maps in this map pool. Very, very exciting. So, this is a huge map. It has 2 neutral bosses, which I think is the only map that has this. There's one in the top, one in the bottom. So, this map was picked. So, all 3 times the map has been picked by Shirley We Scale, as first pick went over to Clouded Mines. So, and there's only one other set of, oh, I just had a total break part. Minions, or not minions. Only one other camp on this map, which is a siege camp that minuses armor. It is the Gnolls. They are the fastest respawning camp in the game. I believe it's at 1 minute. So they're back very quickly, and they're very good at helping your minions push, because they can soak a lot of damage, and they reduce armor on heroes and buildings. So having the timing for these 3 lanes that are very far apart constantly going for these 1 minute apart um, uh, Knoll camps. These boss in the top and bottom. Samuro can be strong here. Anubrak is a well-liked tank on this map. Sorry, my ability to speak English is toileting right now. I'm deeply sorry. Um, so Anubrak is good on this map because he can use beetles to distract the minion protectors of the not the capture camps, but of the objective camps, and then he can capture the camp. Samuro is good at this also, but he's also good at pushing hard and being a pain to the opposing team. Global's super important on this map. Falstad, Brightwing, Dahaka. I think once I've seen a Deathwing on this map, so globals play a huge role because all of the lanes are very far apart. Uh, Among the actual map pool, I think this map might have the farthest apart lanes at the center point. Rotations aren't super quick, but the map is fairly clear in the middle of disruption, so rotates aren't super slow either. Not like not Garden of Terror, Cursed Hollow, where there's constantly little walls and stuff in your way as you rotate. This one is fairly clear down the middle. There are mud pits which slow you as you move in and out, and they are in choke points. So if you can get a team who tries to rotate in towards you in a mud pit, it really gives you opportunities to throw a ton of damage right up their backside. But I'm kind of burying the lead on this one in that it's game 3! We have game number 3, and it's going to be an epic match. Either they put the final nail in the coffin for Surely We Scale, they get their revenge, they finish this series, and they come out of the season series between these two teams tied at 1. On the other hand, if we do get the reverse sweep from the members of Clouded Minds, they take the season series 2-0, and they just put that frustrating reminder, that sort of mind game into Surely We Scale. Come playoff time, we've reverse sweeped you. You can never expect us to back down. So, with that said, game number 3 is on the horizon. Both teams are ready. Let's get into this draft. It's game number 3 between Surely We Scale and Clouded Minds. This series is tied 1-1. It is last game takes everything as we go into the draft. Again, these teams love to fly through the ban phase. So let's see where this goes, because it's going right onto Alterac Pass for a big, big, big game 3. Stitches immediately banned. Stitches can be disgusting on this map, and I mean disgustarunes. So that's banned. Johanna banned. Meme said maybe not quite as comfortable on it last game. It is removed by their team this time. We haven't seen quite as strong a choke on offlaners yet, but I wonder if we see the Sonya ban once again from the members of Clouded Minds, as they don't seem to like to see Ektar on it. And yes, the Barbarian is gone. And we will see Muradin banned. A strong play on it last game by Tempest. But Dahaka was not banned this time, and it is insta-selected by Tiger. And again, globals on this map, with how far apart the lanes are, incredibly strong. Although Dahaka's not the fastest camp taker, and having someone who can quickly take camps is at least somewhat of a priority on Alterac Pass. We do have the 2 picks, the only picks I'll get before the next ban phase, coming out from Surely We Scale. They seem to pick a tank here, and they do. The Anubrak and the Chromie come out. They pick the Chromie away. No more Rogue on Chromie. He has to pick something else. And again, as we discussed, Anubrak can be very strong on this map, can take the camp. And so, we're going to see what they pick this time. Rogue will take the Junkrat this time, and the Arya will come out in game number 3 for Ruffian. So Ruffian will be 3 for 3 on Ariel in this series. We're going to see the final bans come out. There is a ban from Surely We Scale. Now, last 2 times they've banned Falstad, With the other team having Dahaka now, I wonder if they will continue to prioritize the double global and get rid of it, or if they would rather. No, the Garrosh comes out this time, so they're choking out the tank pool, trying to make Tempest Jet uncomfortable since they already have their tank. I wonder if we see another Ektar ban out here. I don't know if Ektar plays Samuro. It's one of the few things that can really annoy even a good Dahaka until 20 when he can get Apex Predator. So we'll see what they want to get rid of on this map. It is the Anduin, so it looks like Kagamine Len will have to play something else, but again, his Stukov is stupid good. So that is still available. So now we'll see 2 picks come out. They've often kind of left Ektars till a little later. So let's see what comes out for Kagamine Len and Ulysses here. Unless I leave Ulysses till the end. It's the Rhaegar and the Falstad, so they have the matching global here from Ulysses, and they will leave the offlaner till last. So the final 2 picks will come out for Tempest Jet and Terrorsaur, and with a number of tanks cleared out here, Diablo is still available, Arthas is still available, although he can be a little bit weak on this map. So we're going to see the Hanzo for Terrorsaur and the Blaze again for Tempest Jet. It wasn't that strong in game number 1. Are they hoping to see a better performance on it this time? The final pick will come to Ektar, and his Leoric is still available, although in terms of clearing and global, it's not quite as strong as the Haka. There's quite a bit of range still for the members, the damage members of Clouded Mines, so I wonder what Ektar's looking to take for the decent size. It will be Leo, and he did look good on the Leo. Well, that's it. These are the final heroes for game number 3, the final game between Surely We Scale and Clouded Mines, unless they somehow meet in the playoffs. So, as we load into game number 3, cast your cheers, cast your bets on whoever you think will win, because game number 3 between Surely We Scale and Clouded Mines is going to start right now. Game 1 was a classic back and forth. Game 2 fit a little more into the hands of Clouded Mines. That's why we're tied 1-1, but this final game is the final game, no matter how it goes. So, in the blue, representing Vandar Stormpeak of the Dwarves, we've got Memezed playing a Nubarak. We've got Ulysses on the Dwarf on a Duck, Falstad. Tie-Dye Tice plays Chromie. Ektor playing Leoric and Kagamine Len, bringing it up on the Orc Rhaegar, betraying his own kind to fight for the Dwarves. I tell ya. On the far side, representing Drekthar, the Orc. Drekthar. We have Tempest Jet on the main tank Blaze, Ruffian playing the Ariel, Terrorsaur on Hanzo, Rogue playing Junkrat, and Dahaka being played by Tiger. Now, with the Chromie and the Beetles, they're looking to cheese this. The rotation is coming out. They are backing away, but they did get that first tower, and Memezed is just here to delay the rotation so nobody dies for this early game cheese. They're looking to jump, however, onto Tempest Jet. He takes so much damage. And again, Blaze, not the highest health point tank, and he will go down as this time the blue team decides. Surely We Scale deciding they need to get aggressive. Falstad will fly top to match this Dahaka in the top lane as the 4-man goes mid. No, the 3-man, as in the bottom it will be Ektar facing off against Rogue to collect this experience. For level 1s, we do see the Nerubian armor for a Nubarak going for the additional spell defense, the spell armor. We have Frequent Flyer, the auto attack build for Ulysses, who has frozen this wave, wanting to make Dahaka work for it. Meanwhile, Terrorsaur and Ruffian do take this camp, and Kagamine Len and Tie-Dye Tights take theirs. We see the Vision for Chromie, the Time Walker's Pursuit, Ossian Renewal for the Leoric, who is bottom here with Memezed against Rogue, and the Colossal Totem for Rhaegar, going E-build. We once again have this endurance impact, the shield on this tank build. And again, I'm a little surprised. We normally see the unstoppable come out. So, obviously, in the way that Tempest Jet plays the Blaze, he doesn't find the cleanse that important, but his healer doesn't have a cleanse in Ruffian. So, we'll see if the endurance stim pack is a better answer in Game 3 than it was in Game 1. Searing Light will come out for Ariel. The Simple Geometry comes out for Hanzo. He has 3 stacks so far. This time it's the Tricky Shuffles from our friend Junkrat, and it will be Enduring Swarm. So neither of the stacking quests for Dahaka at 1. It will be the W build. Ektar's taking a lot of damage here, and Tiger kills Ektar. The Dahaka finishes off the Leoric in the 1v1. MZ does get pushed out, but uses his Burrow Charge to get away from all that additional damage. They're attempting to clear this out, but Rogue really seems to enjoy using those mines to misposition his opponents as the stun comes out and the whip comes out onto MZ, takes out half his health. Tides is thrown into the enemy team, and wow, instantly deleted. They were waiting for a misposition, and they pounced on it instantly. Tempest Jet does come out to push Ulysses back. The prisoner camps will unlock just now. As in the bottom, Ektar and Tiger are battling out once more. The top, Ulysses trying to poke out Tempest Jet as he heals on his burning oil slick. Rogue will come top to make Ulysses' life just that bit more difficult, as once again, the camps are prioritized by both teams, although it does look like Pterosaur is quite low on mana and may need to tap or back. Tempest Jet looking to push these Alliance soldiers away. The stun on Memezed as he looks to push back the Blaze. And there is a trap here from Rogue's Junkrat. In the bottom, we do see Tiger pushing this forward, and he does have the ability to climb up globally, so he can put pressure on here as both teams reach level 7. Memezed, they push it on the Blaze. Tempest Jet takes a good chunk of damage, but the bomb comes out, and the Burrow Charge from Memezed cannot be used for crowd control. It has to be used to escape. Tides is looking to take the camp. It's bombed away by Rogue, as Junkrat is an excellent delay on this map, but so is Chromie. It's a 4v4 now, as Falstad pushes hard in the top, and Dahaka is pushing on the bottom, but Falstad's push is better than Dahaka's. Now, Surely We Scale is pushed away from the prisoner camp, but it has not given Clouded Minds the opportunity to push on this side. And the minions over here are down. Memezed, Burrow charges in, looking to take it, but is whipped back by Ruffian, as Falstad is just free pushing. Ektar has gone bottom to push Tiger away from their fort. Falstad still pushing here. This fort down about 3/4. In the bot lane, you see once again Ektar and Tiger just dueling it out. And Nubrak once again, he goes in, and this time he does manage to capture the fort. The 3 who are mid are going to come back, and the jet propulsion comes out, but misses as the Burrow Charge goes over this wall segment. But that's a 6-second advantage captured now for the members of Surely We Scale, and they are a slight bit ahead in the levels, but not enough that it's going to be significant. Now the 3-man will come in hard here. Memezed will use an auto attack, but he gets stunned again. He's taking so much damage. He manages to Burrow Charge under the wall. He just barely survives. They're capturing it now themselves, and all 5 members are here, but it looks like, well, I thought maybe they were going for 10, but perhaps they're not. They're rotating up. Ektar will push out this lane mid, but that will not be enough experience to get them to 10 before their opponents. It's ticking down, 14 seconds, but there is the mine here. Whoever is here, they're going to jump onto Tempest Jet as the Slowing Sands is out. He does pop the Endurance Stim back, but he is killed immediately. However, this means this is counting down. Tiger stopping the opponents from grabbing it. It's down to 1 second. It's down to half a second, and it's captured by the red team. But in the back line, Ektar has jumped. 10s have been reached as Dahaka is killed also. Out comes the Entomb. They're going to try and jump onto Ruffian here, and out comes the Cocoon as 10s are in for the members of Surely We Scale. The Slowing Sands are here. Ruffian trying to escape. Here comes the Ancestral and Kagamine land, and Ruffian is dead as well. And that is a 3-for-0. Even while they get this horde camp, this cavalry, they have lost 3 heroes. Cocoon is out for a Nubrak. We've got Gust from Volstad, slowing sands from Chrome we've already seen used to great effects. Entomb and Ancestral. On the other side, Tens have now come out as well. We've got the Bunker on Blaze, Resurrect from Ariel as opposed to the Crystal Aegis. We once again have Dragon Strike, so no, Pterosaur just prefers Dragon Strike. We've got Rocket Ride instead of Riptire. So these teams like different heroics. Very interesting. And we have Isolation from Dahaka as Rogue is getting a lot of damage onto this bottom fort. Top is defended by Ektar with the fort taking no damage. Mid has also taken no damage to the fort itself. But in the bottom lane, this fort is at about 10%. And with 4 defending bottom, they will push these minions into the fort as well as Junkrat comes in after a rocket ride. Look at him zoom around. Look how happy he is. Nyom, nyom, nyom. Oh, little skull face. That's cool. They're looking to see if the boss is being taken. It isn't. They are going to put the mine here just in case someone decides to rotate here. In the top of the Isolation is popped out. A ton of damage is going to Ektar. He's just waiting. He does the skeletal swing and it misses. He also throws the Drain Hope, but Tiger had burrowed. Camp is already collected for the members of Surely We Scale, but not far behind them is Clouded Mind. They're looking for the gank onto the top lane here, or just to push down this fort. Memeset, Kagamine Len, and Tides. They're going to come out here. The totem is dropped so they can gank. But out comes the Slowing Sands. They're jumping on the Tiger. He gets knocked up. Pterosaur and Ruffian are coming as well, but it's too late. Dahaka is dead, and the King of the Zerg is Control Z. I don't know my controls. That I kind of give up on that one. There is an opportunity to resurrect here, and yes, Ruffian will resurrect. The Dahaka means he is back in the fight and back to soaking the top lane. Ektar, Memeset, and Tides are pushing hard in this mid lane. They're attacking the building. Out comes the double dragon. The time stop means that Memeset is actually fine here. The dig in by Tiger. They do grab Tides, so out comes the Ancestral. The Entomb will be dropped as well just to block these members in a choke. The Slowing Sands is here, as is the Bunker. Ektar being jumped on by Tiger, but Memeset also trying to help control. Ruffian is here. Tiger's getting very low. A great jet propulsion from Tempest Jet. The Cocoon comes out onto Ariel. Ulysses has come up. They're jumping on Pterosaur. Dead. Tempest Jet on the Blaze. Dead. Tiger getting jumped on, and the Gust comes out to push Rogue away as they're trying to kill Tiger. Dead. It's a 3-for-0, and Ruffian is being chased by Ektar. They're not willing to let the Angel of Hope have any of that today. She is killed also. Resurrect is up now, and Ariel may choose to resurrect herself, or she may choose to save it for the next big fight. This mid fort will go down, as this is what they were doing before, so they just go, yeah, you can't interrupt us, we're doing this s'mores. Ariel will not resurrect herself. She will save that for another time. Now, they will come here. There is a mine here from the Junkrat. While Ektar attempts to kill the top lane, he's once again going for the auto build with the Spectral Leech and then the Mithril Mace. Pterosaur is taking this mid fort. They're looking to fight, but Tempest Jet gets caught out again and murdered. They're down a hero. Dahaka, Tiger and Dahaka has dug in, but their tank is dead. And once again, more evidence that Blaze as main tank does make things tricky. Will he be resurrected? It looks like they're looking to find an opportunity to do so. As they rotate around, making sure it's safe. In the mid, Ektar is pushing back this wave of gnolls. Basically, hyena dudes. Bottom boss is captured by the members of Surely We Scale. So they're going to push this boss, and this is the only lane where they haven't captured the fort. So this was just a strong option for them as they are sieging up. Tiger pushes the minion wave back with the Dahaka Dark Swarm. Again, a Nubrak, because he can by himself with his beetles, captures this camp while the boss pushes hard. Bottom fort is down. Boss is at about 10% health. It looks like they want to engage here because they have the 16 advantage. The slowing sands comes out, but there's the grab onto Chromie. The cleanse comes out from Kagamine Len, and she is safe as the gust comes out as well. But now the gust will not be available for this choke point here, and it will be a proper 5-on-5. The slowing sands, though, is here. The impale comes out onto Tempest Jet, but so will the bombs from the Junkrat. But with 2 seconds left, Clouded Minds decides they need to defend, and so they split up to push back waves so that this cavalry can't just walk straight up to the keeps and start knocking on the doors. They're still 15. They're a full level away from 16. They're going to need to be careful here. Falstad is bottom, but can join at any time. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there is the 4-man. Dahaka is top, is waiting to see if he pushes out or if he needs to dig to help his team. The 4-man is rotating here towards the bot lane. The Jet Propulsion comes out, but it misses Tie-Dye Tights on the Chromie. The slowing stance comes out. Rogue takes so much damage, it's blown away immediately. The Double Dragon comes out, but once again hits nothing. Ektar taking a lot of damage from the buildings here, but the Rhaegar heals and the Ossian Renewal will keep him topped up. Dahaka is pushing top against this. There's a lot of experience up there. Kind of makes like an airplane pattern. Yay. We do see this bottom keep is taking a ton of damage, and if you are in the cavalry circle, you do have a damage amplification. The mid lane one will go down without hitting the keep, and the top one is destroyed by Tiger's Dahaka. But it is now 18-16, and while they're on the same talent tier, there is what we like to call the stat diff, which will be 8% with this 2-level difference. The blue team is heading immediately for the top boss. Are they going to bait it, or are they going to start it? No, Tie-Dye Tights throws some autos at the boss, but they're looking to see who they can jump on. Tiger with a good burrow keeps him alive. Ektar is here as well, and remember, he doesn't have Rhaegar. He doesn't get that much speed. Out comes the mine. They're putting damage onto Ektar. He's stepping on the mine. He's baiting them to use it. But once again, it is 5v5, while there is a minion wave pushing right up into Drekthar. Looks like they've caught Ektar. He takes a lot of damage. Out comes the Gust and the Ancestral. Ektar is kept alive, but 2 ultimates are used to none on the side of Clouded Minds, and that is a good trade if you're a team who's behind. Hanzo is forced to go mid to push back this fort, or this keep, taking about 10% damage. Surely We Scale is going for this boss. They've already got it down more than half. Tempest Jet, the Impale comes out. They want to take this boss. Tiger jumps in. The isolation goes on to Ulysses, but the cleanse. Here comes the Dragon, Double Dragon, as the Cocoon is out on Tempest Jet. Here comes the Entomb. They're fighting on the point as Ektar 1v1's Pterosaur. No! We're going to see a kill onto Chromie, a kill onto Dahaka. The red team, here comes the Rocket Ride, and they steal the boss. It's a 3-for-1, and the Resurrection comes out as well, so Dahaka is back alive. Junkrat, Rocket riding around, seeing where he needs to be as he pushes out mid, but the rest of the 4-man will push with the boss, and this is what they needed to tie things up. A fight where they only lose one, Ariel can resurrect, and there's life back in game number 3. Falstad and Memezet are taking their camp, making sure there's a pushback in the mid-air, as the top, with still 90% of its health, is knocking on the top keep gate. Ektar will be up momentarily, and Chromie and Kagamine Len on Rhaegar will be up within the next 20 seconds or so. Allied camp is now captured by Clouded Minds, as this is the part of the game where you want to be successful. You can have been behind the whole rest of the game, but this is where it matters. Now, they are down 20s. Rewind is here for Nubrak. The Gust, the Wind Tunnel, is out for Falstad. We've got Piercing Sands from Chromie, the Buried Alive, which was so impactful in Game 1 from Leoric, and the Farseer's Blessing, the double mini AoE Ancestral Blessing. Only 18 seconds left on this camp. They want the 5v5, but they don't want to die. The stasis, out comes the isolation. It still hits Chromie. The cleanse does come out. The Double Dragons is moving. Doesn't manage to stop anyone. They're going to jump onto Tiger here. He's taking a lot of damage onto Hawkeye. He's dead. Tie-Dye Tights trying to stop this cap, but they're not able to. Great work from Junkrat means they do secure this, but they're going to look to see if they can kill Tempest Jet here. The Entomb is up, but they can't quite get to him. Oh, the Gust comes out big. But it doesn't manage to catch anyone for a kill. They are going to push back against these cavalry raiders. But even with the 20 advantage, they only got 1 kill, and 20s are starting to come in for the members of, in just about a third of a level for Clouded Mines. Whew. I'm going to take a quick breath here while teams do team things. Ariel coming up here. They are going to resurrect the Haka. Resurrect is down, but it is a 5v5 now in this portion of the game. Now, this cavalry is all the way back here pushing out the lane, and will also run into this group. They are going to push hard here. Out comes the ults. The double dragons doesn't get down. There's the isolation onto the Anubarak. Out comes the Ancestral onto Kagamine Len. Tiger's taking a good chunk of damage. And Tie-Dye Tights is moving away here. Out comes the Rocket Ride. Tie-Dye Tights managed to stay alive. The Jet Propulsion just misses Tie-Dye Tights, and the time stop manages to keep Tiger from chasing any further, but they are down their tank right now. Ruffian very low in the back here. Ektar coming back around. He does still have that buried alive entomb. They're pushing hard as the bottom fort goes down, and there's still 3/4 of health here as Falstad comes down to answer. The Slowing Sands is down on Tiger, but without the main tank, down for 25 more seconds, there's not a lot they can do here. The Double Dragon will come out again. Tie-Dye Tights takes a little bit of damage, puts some poke onto Tempest Jet, who jet propulsions away. And now Clouded Mines are going to look to take their own boss, their first boss. No, not their first boss of the game. They stole the other boss top. Blue team not ready, not able to contest with Anubarak still down, so they take their own camp and will be looking to defend the boss, who is almost certainly going to take their bottom keep, making things even in buildings. Falstad is going top to clear this huge wave that's forming up, but in the bottom, the boss is getting ready to charge down this lane and blow up a keep for the Alliance. 20s for both teams. We do see the fortified bunker, the Shield of Hope, the Dragon Awakens. I hate waiting from Junkrat, which is the Rocket Ride mount. I haven't seen this ever picked before, so good for Rogue. And the Contagion, which we saw do some work in the mid lane. Slowing Sand comes out. The boss is taking out these towers, still has about 2/3 of its health. The Haka is pushing mid. The rest of the red team decides to GTFO. Get the front office, you know. The top boss won't be back up for 26 more seconds. I don't know if either team is going to prioritize this because the prisoner camps are coming up in 20 seconds. Another banger. We're 20 minutes into this game. The teams are level 22 and 21. This game is nutty. Neither team willing to concede. Both teams looking for the fight that's going to take them and give them this series. Red team positions up for this boss. They're on it fast. But blue team looking to charge mid. They don't seem to be aware that their opponents are blowing up this boss very quickly. It's already at half health. They're going to charge for this mid lane. And so this is going to force their opponents to respond. 2 were already backing. The rest are rotating as Rogue does have this super fast. But this keep is going down so quickly. It's already down to about 1/4 health. Down to 10%. There is the stun onto Ektar. He hasn't used the Wraith Walk yet. Out comes the Silence and Tomb, but it manages not to catch anybody, but it does block out. They are getting this. They're getting a ton of damage onto Tiger here from Ektar. The Double Dragon comes out. Ektar is separated from the rest of his team. Tempest Jet takes some big CC. The Wind Tunnel comes out, and it's pushing the 3 damages here. They get caught by the Burrow Charge. That's the end of Rogue. That is dead. We see the Ancestral come out once. It comes out twice. The Contagion comes out as there's a Resurrection coming out onto Junkrat, but it's not enough. Chromie is dead. Dahaka is dead. Tempest Jet is going down. Killed as well. They jump onto. He's dead as well. The Hanzo. Out comes Ulysses. Takes so much damage, but a good heal there. Oriel and Junkrat are the only ones left alive, and Junkrat did die, but the boss is pushing the core. It's still at half health, but there's still 40 armor left for Vandar Stormpike, as the members of the red team have gone 3 for 1 and want to end this game with cavalry. Their reinforcements are coming. The nearest reinforcements for Clouded Mines is in 23 seconds from Dahaka. I'm losing my voice. This series has been bonkers. Out comes the Silence and Tomb, but once again it comes up just short. They're going to jump onto Drekthar here. Everyone is focusing everything they have, and the Cocoon comes out onto Junkrat as Memezed is using his rewind to keep them away. Drekthar is going down, and he's dead. Game number 3 goes to Surely We Scale as they put the hammer down. They win game number 3, and they even out the season series. They get their revenge for last week, and they have got to be rejoicing. The kills 17-7 in the final part of the game, and taking away Rogue's Chromie. The Junkrat looked good. Not as good as the Chromie, though. And we saw some crazy plays, but once again, I think what we see is Blaze has some really great traits as a tank, but struggles to give you everything a main tank gives, which is the ability to truly sustain through a team fight. The sustain he has is good for laning. It's a tiny bit weak for team fighting. And as much as I think Tempest Jet played Blaze as well as you can in the main tank role, there's a reason we don't see it very often. So, congratulations! We're going to see if we can't find some members of Surely We Scale for an interview as we watch them win game number 3. A little bit of a scare in dropping game number 2, but they win game number 3, and we're going to do an interview with our victorious members. If we can pull them in here.
Hey, Omster, how's it going?
Good, Memes. How are you?
Oh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking so much.
I was gonna say shaking, sweating, a little bit of urine, you know, all the normal things.
Yeah, oh my god, that was so tense.
Unbelievable. So you managed to get your revenge for last week. They got the 2-1 last week. You get the 2-1 this week. Now, game number 1 went... I don't have the exact time, but it went long. We saw a really long game played on Volskaya Foundry. You guys got to pick the map every time. How do you manage to keep your team's energy and coordination up in such a long game?
It's weird. Like, I feel like everyone's energy was kind of... Like, we were also kind of antsy and nervous. Like, I feel like 3 games is the point where if there's game 4, like, then you really start to fatigue. And, like... But I didn't really feel like... I felt like we kind of scaled up into it. But I felt like, yeah, our energy was decent. And we were kind of on our toes, but a little calmer than last week, I think.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, just some fantastic play. Those first 2 games, we did see Rogue play a very strong Chromie. Was it a priority for you to pick it away in game 3 so they couldn't play it again?
We definitely... That was a big part. Like, a big shout out to Clouded Minds. Like, they... Like, drafting into them has felt really hard. And so, yeah, getting that chance to play that Chromie was really, really nice.
In game number 2, they really, both you guys really clamped down on the off-laner pool. Do you think that that was more of an advantage for your team or more of an advantage for Tiger with, I think it ended up being 4 off-laners banned out in the ban phase?
I mean, we've lost that game, so it didn't work out. But I don't know if that was so much down to offlane, though. I think, like, his Thrall was really good as well. Like, I think Blaze got kind of bodied top, which was, I think that's always painful. We were just trying out drafting strategies of, like, okay, let's see how this goes. How does this feel? Because in our previous week's games, we tried, like, Clouded Minds has really scary heroes. And I think, like, they're the team of all the teams where it was like, oh god, these guys are, like, really spooky. So trying to figure out, what do we ban into them? What do we deal with? And we tried banning just, like, some of their things that they're really good at, but that also impacts our own pool. Like, and so last week we kind of ran into that a bit, and a little bit in some of these games, like in the game 2, like, our offlaner pool was like, oh, this is kind of tight. So just leaving open more heroes and, like, make them make the first choice. Like, what if they get one hero first, but then we get the other two? And so if we leave off a bunch of good heroes, we get to take at least some of them.
Ektar has responded in chat that 1000% benefited Tiger. Definitely Tiger.
Yeah.
So
Big
is
shout out to Ektar for his suffering in the top lane.
he did some great work on Leo. I love seeing a good Leo played, and I thought, despite the buried allied whiffs we saw here and there was some really solid Leo play. So again, I know it's weird to ask you about your opponents. Blaze as a main tank twice by Tempest Jet. Is this just a Tempest Jet special, or was he pulling out something you guys hadn't seen before?
We had not seen that before. That was like, I mean, that was part of our strategy, is trying to figure out, okay, we can't ban all their DPS out. And last week we kind of got destroyed by some of his tanks, or their tanks, I should say. So I was just kind of like, you know what, let's clamp down on tank pool, because I felt confident of having enough choices myself that weren't included in that.
I mean, I'm not trying to give away anyone's secrets here, but I was a little surprised he went with the endurance stim pack as opposed to the unstoppable when they picked Ariel all 3 times, a healer with no cleanse. So just kind of, I guess, a note from me. I found that interesting that he went with the shield one as opposed to the unstoppable.
See that? Like, I don't know if we had. I do think there's moments where Unstop would have saved him, maybe in game 3. I'd have to watch back. I was kind of to be honest, I didn't even realize. I didn't pay any attention to the Blaze level 1. Game 3 definitely felt like, especially at the start and the mid game, it was like, oh, we can kill Blaze here. And that was definitely nice to be able to do that. But I think in those stages, like, the shield is probably more helpful because they wouldn't probably have Unstop at that point.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because they need the 15 globes. But later game, it would have been a problem, I do think.
So game number 1 is incredibly back and forth. Game number 2 is pretty comfortably. I mean, it wasn't all their way, but it was very comfortably a Clouded Minds victory. How was your team mentality going into game number 3, knowing that, you know, this specter of a reverse sweep is hanging over their head?
Honestly, we got one game. Like, our goal this season is not to get 2-0'd, which, who knows, it might happen. But we were super happy with taking one map, so it was kind of like anything more than that is juicy. I will say there were moments in game 2 where we were all a little like, oh god. But I don't think there was any more, like, they just got to Shrine before us and they outfought us, and so that put us in awkward positions. I'd have to watch back. I don't think there were any fights we turbo into in terms of, like, down talent tiers or other stuff like that. So, like, it was a hard game, but I feel like I was reasonably happy with how and when we took the fights.
I think the EQ Thrall played a huge role in game number 2. So shout out to Tiger. He also had some amazing plays that we can't interview him and tell him he did a great job, but Tiger, I mean, everyone on that team did a great job, but Tiger, I really appreciate some of the offlane plays there. So last question here before I let you do your shout outs here, Memezed.
Yeah.
Game number 3, you guys are clearly ahead, and then there's that team fight near the
boss,
prisoner camps.
The
boss, yes, I guess that's the big one, because you guys take one person down, Ariel uses Resurrect, and now it's, instead of like a 2-for-1, it turns into a 3-for-none with the Resurrect.
Feels bad.
How do you guys come back? How do you guys reset your mental as you kind of, you're well ahead, and then there's this boss throw?
So, I mean, one of the things I really like Alterac for, and I would probably like Towers for it if we played it more, but, like, no boss, and you have a lot of comeback options. You have a lot of coming back into the game, and bosses are not strong enough. I don't think that we were behind a little bit after that, and we lost some forts, but we were not, like, just so out of the game that we couldn't claw back in, and we had such a macro lead from earlier on that I was like, okay, this is bad. Like, obviously there's going to be some stuff for us to review there, but just because we lost there, and that was ultimately, I think, my fault for calling. I thought we'd be able to rip the boss fast enough to force them off it, and then there were some crossed wires. I think I'll have to watch it back for, like, do we take the boss? Do we fight them? The Dahaka did, like, shout out to Tiger, that dig in the back. Like, the Dahaka was such a pain in the ass. And there was also a point on the OBJ where we were so split. Like, Leo and Falstead were looking for, like, aggressive entombs and the Gust, and then Dahaka was sitting in the back. And, like, I remember looking at one point at the screen, and I can see Leo and Falstead, like, on the right side of my screen, and our, like, backline getting the Chromie, and our healer getting harassed in the back, and I was like, oh god. So I don't even remember how I think we got kills there, but they forced us so hard off the OBJ.
Yeah, the rocket ride came out on that one and managed to keep you from holding on.
And
Well, sorry, go ahead.
the Junkrat was so annoying. I think that's the first time I've played into like a really good Junkrat on Alterac, and it was like miserable because you basically can't cap unless you kill him or zone them off so hard.
You didn't let Kagamine play his Stukov after it wasn't banned in 2 or 3. I mean, I was really looking forward to it. Do you have an apology for me, or?
I do. I'm really sorry. We thought about the Stukov, and I think the Stukov might have been good. The Rhaegar, like the Ancestrals, were pro though.
Yeah, Kagamine always impresses me with their ability to pop out great skills at the right time. Who would you like to shout out before we draw the interview to a close there, Meme Zed?
God, I'm gonna get flack for this. Okay, first I have to. He's probably not even listening, but tie-dye tights because I've been working my way through like specifically thanking all of my team. So I got hate from someone last week. I think it was Ektar for not getting shoutouts, and then Kagamine the week before. So tie-dye tights this week, and then assuming if maybe we win next week, it'll be Ulysses. Shout out also to the rest of my team. Like I'm proud of us for coming back into this series and taking it the other way around because it was last week was tough. Shout out to our opponents. Like I've really enjoyed these games. I really enjoy the vibe they have, and these games are like so back and forth. Really keep us on our toes, and I look forward to playing against them again and maybe scrimming them. Shout out to you for casting. I really appreciate the work that all the casters do. It really makes the game more enjoyable for us, and I really thank you for that. And I think finally, just NGS in general. I love playing this game, and I'm really glad to get this platform to play it through and with.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for some entertaining games. Thanks for coming on for the interview. That makes things more fun for me, and I hope for the teams as well. We love to give you that platform. So thanks so much for joining us, Memezed, and congratulations on the 2-1 victory over Clouded Minds.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your night, and thanks everyone for watching. Catch you guys in the Nexus. Bye.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our series. A 2-1 win for Surely We Scale over Clouded Minds. And what an epic series it was. Last week's games, this week's games, we got teams of the history, teams that with so much similarity and yet so many differences in the things they pick on their heroes and the way they play them. This has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone who watched, everyone who followed. It is always a blast to be your caster. Thank you to both of these teams for giving us such entertaining Heroes of the Storms. The VODs will be on Twitch for 7 days, after which they remove them, but they will be moved over to YouTube. Omster on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great night, and please go enjoy yourself some Heroes of the